Let's continue the development of the game of ArthurianX6, the Ultima 6-like engine. Last time we were placing the NPCs and the mobs in the map, and we stumbled upon an issue with tiled not being able, or phaser not being able to load external tile sets into from tiled. Um, I was doing a little bit of research, and yeah, it seems like that's a limitation that we're going to have to live with, but it's not that bad because we can create the tile sets, the external tile sets, and then we can embed them using the tiled embed option here. So anyways, I wound up doing that. I also stumbled upon something very interesting. I was checking Densi's website, and I found a tile set that I didn't remember about, and it's a paper doll tile set on this Ultima 6 style. As you can see, basically it's a male and a female avatar. Then options for hairstyles and for headgear, like helmets and stuff. Then also some body clothing, looks like armor, I think, and tunics and dresses, and then boots, pants, shields, and some weapons. So I don't think initially the engine will support this paper dolling thing, but at least we can use that, and I hope Camilo can help me with this. We can use this tileset to create some NPCs or some mobs, and I just did that to create the guards, these guards, and yeah, I created them because we're going to use them on the completion of milestone 1 for the scenario that we had planned. So anyways, I ended up creating a external tile set, which is this one, and in this tile set we can define the properties for the tiles. We're going to be use the first tile only for each mob, and what I did was adding the ID and the type custom properties to this. By default the type is going to be a mob, but we can also add NPCs using this, and then using that external tileset here, and then embedding the tileset, because else it's not going to work. And what we got with that is this. Basically it's working. We can see that both the NPCs and the enemies are being created. um, and it's working. I mean, the mobs are by default hostile because of the mob type, and it's triggering the combat mode. Of course, some things are not working very well here, because the guards could see us from the distance, and that's not the idea of the scenario. So anyways, I'm going to use our new capabilities to modify the map, and then not having to worry about positioning of stuff. So we're going to open this clearing a little bit. That's the first thing we're going to do, but we're actually going to also modify the AI of the enemies, so that they have to have like at least a minimum distance from us. But in addition to that, we are also going to create some area here. So we're going to extend the forest clearing into this area, and so let's do that. And then we are going to go ahead and move these mobs using tiles capability. So we cut them, paste them, and move them here. And then we are going to I forgot. Okay, so vegetation layer, objects layer. Objects is where we have the trees. So let's remove these trees here, because we need to go through. Actually, I'm going to create a small patch of trees here for it not to look so flat. Let's go back to the solid tiles and mark these as solid. Okay. And let's fill the terrain. So we're going to use tiles random thing. So the way it works is we can select multiple tiles here, and I think the last time I used only these three probably, and then we use the fill bucket and the random dice thing. So as you see, it fills randomly. We are going to do that here on this layer, and then we are going to put back the trees that we need, and for that we also use that random tool, but we are going to use a set of trees instead of the grass. So we are going to pick these 3 trees, and we are using the stamp tool, not the bucket fill. We just follow the there's a gap here, we gotta fix that. We follow the another gap, the pattern that we just draw. So that's one of the reasons why we are using tiled, or this integration with tiled. I wanted to take advantage of all the existing tooling that is available for tiled, the existing integrations, tiled ongoing development, um, ensures that we are going to have like a very good initial, at least, tool that we can use to create the maps, um, instead of running or doing our own um, map editor. Maybe we will end up doing that in the future, but I would like to focus first on the actual workings of the engine, instead um, of yeah the UI of an IDE for this kind of stuff. So there you have it. We got an extended map now. Now there's one thing that we are still hard coding in the engine, and it's the starting location. That makes part of what we are going to do next, which are some kind of triggers or special locations or special markers in the map that are used as triggers and from other stuff. But that's not done yet. So wait. So let's for now just update it. In the scenario data, the starting location will now be 80 through 4. 80 and 34. So we go to the info here and we update our starting state to 80. And that should be it. We save all here. We save here in tiled. It's already saved. We refresh or rebuild. And if everything goes well, everything should continue working. And now probably the guards will not come raid us as soon as the game starts. So here we are. Shamino is coming toward us. He's here. Let's give some time for the guards to reach us. They did not. Okay. So Shamino is here, and there are the guards. The pathfinding is working. They took some time. That's actually not bad. I mean, that should be enough time to trigger the conversation with Shamina, but yeah, I think I'm going to also add some tweaks on the AI so that we get to walk a bit on the forest before meeting them, and also because we need to control that flow a little bit to trigger the part where the guards talk to us. But I'm going to commit this change. So let's go ahead and pick these commits first, because we're going to dive into something additional. We got a bunch of commits. The first one is this tile set, which was the first test that we did. It's no longer needed. Then we have our new tile set with the skeleton, rat, and shamino definitions. We're going to save this. Then we have the modification to add the guard or the soldier here. We do not need this, So we roll back this small change on the build script. This is the change on the position. This is the changes on the map itself. This is the change to load the tile map. So we are going to remove this comment here. We no longer need it. So it's time to remove it. It's gone now. So that was a big to-do here. Next up is the maps. We are going to do something similar to the maps. Excuse me, for the items. But yeah, that's one. Then we got this change on the move factory. Then the new appearance for the soldier. The new definition for the soldier. And this is Astaroth, the NPC. I think this was part of what I was going to do for the next step. So let's keep that from being committed. So from this initial commit, so we're going to commit the tile set, the soldier, the new position and the new map, the changes. This is the main change here, which is being able to load mobs and NPCs from the map, and it needs this, and then we have this soldier which is needed by the new map, and this new definition which is needed to the new map for the new map by the new map. And we're going to commit this, so allow placing NPCs and mobs on the map, on the tiled map. Okay, that's the commit. Good. And now this. So yeah, let's go into the mob code, mob.js, mob.class.js, and so what we need to do here is, if this is a party member, no, if this is not a party member, and I am not into the player, then I find a path to the player and move there. But this code is for, I mean, what, I should not be able to find a path to the player always, because I should only be able to do that if I am seeing him, or I don't know, something else. So we need to somewhere check, if not a line of sight, at least distance, right? So let's take a deep look into this code. If the mob, well, if there's a player and the alignment of this mob is the same as the player, so it's a friendly mob, then if we are in combat, well, it's different, because this code doesn't resolve the action, because the mob becomes the active mob and then we select what he does in the user interface. This is not this case. Then if we are not in combat right now, it's moving directly to the player unless it's already on the player. So we need to add something here at least. Let's put something at the initial. So if the distance between this mob and the player, well, and actually the mobs should not seek the player. Why would they? They are just walking around. So I think this doesn't make a lot of sense unless you are a party member. So yeah, I think that's part of the confusion here. This doesn't mean that you're a party member. This means that you are an NPC, a friendly NPC. So that was actually something that was pending being fixed. We need a further distinction here to see if we are a party member. So party members is party member. This is wrong. This is wrong. And we can fix it. Let's first see when we are using that. So we're just checking the alignment and it's being used only in this mob class. And then let's check how we add people to the party. Add to party, I think. Yeah, so we got an event which is called add to party, and there's a method which is called add mob to party, and it's on the, where is it? It should be in the mob class. So this that party dot push. So is party member only, actually only the player has a party. So is party member should work using this array instead of checking the alignment. This is not good. This is only tells us if the mob has a B alignment. Anyways, so if we can find this this mob inside the player's party, then it is a party member. Right? Uh, right. That may change stuff around. So what will happen now is that here, where were we? We were using it somewhere, and now I cannot find it. It was not in the attack code. It was here. No, where is it now? That's weird. Maybe here? No. Wow, now I am lost. Let's see. Act. Okay. So this is wrong. If this is a party member of the player, then we do this block. Else, we just act randomly. Let's for now stand by. And let's put a to-do to act randomly or follow schedule in the future. Okay. That means that we will be able to see if the code to add to the party is working, and we will do that in a moment. Now, this is a case when it's either friendly or a party member, but if it's not a friendly or a party member, then it goes this in this branch of the if, and it says seeks a nearby target. If it doesn't find a target, or if alignment is neutral, which means it's an animal of sorts, then, oh, here's some code to move randomly here. Let's take this and put it here. We should probably add that to a method. And then we can modify the to-do to just follow a schedule. Yeah. Now, if it's not that, if it found a target, then it finds a path to it. If it doesn't find a target and it's not neutral, then it just stands by. So it seems that we will find a solution here. Implement some LOS. Yeah, there it was. So if this is a hostile mob, it finds the it gets the closer mob to him from the other alignment, and get closer mob to this. So we are going to check if this mob is actually below a threshold. Let's do that. Closer mob is this, and if the distance between the closer mob and this is under, I don't know, 10 for now, then we return the closer mob. If not, then we don't use it. And distance, so let's check what utility do we have for distance here. We do have some utilities in the actual pathfinding library, but we don't want to use them. We should have something else. Let's not look into the libraries, and I don't have anything. Wait, no, not into the libraries. No, we do, well, we are geo, okay. Geo flat distance, which is very quick. Geo, we have a module called geometry, I don't know, and it has a flat distance thing. So let's use that. Let's see, it's actually already being used here. Okay, so we use distance is geo that flat distance closer mob dot x closer mob dot y and this dot x and this dot y. If that distance is under 10, then return it, else return false. This should make these guards stay there until we are a bit closer and simulate that they became aware of us. But there's an error in line 65 of mob class. 65 is here. Well, okay, this was the temporary thing that I was adding. And actually, let's check the diff to see if we included something that was unwanted. So here is the code that we're now checking if it's a party member before doing this. This is wanted. This is the change. We will remove that comment in a little bit. This is the other change. This is all wanted. This is the future thing, so we're truly fine. Let's try building again. Okay. Well, it failed. Something failed. Let's see what was it. Cannot read property party of undefined. Cannot read property visible of undefined. And that happened here. So it seems, let's see what happened there. If this, that is party member of who? It needs the player. So yeah, this has changed because now all references to this party member need the player. Actually, we can get the player from a global thing, and maybe that will help. And I mean this thing. So let's do it that way. Let's remove this from here, and let's go to his party member function and use the player directly. Something failed again. Cannot read property party of undefined, and I wonder why it's still doing that. So let's see. Well, it seems that this is being called before the player is set. Players in the fine, we know that. OX or case, so this one still doesn't have a player. Maybe it's very early. Start game. We haven't even built the player. And the thing is that these mobs that are being created are being activated just after being created, because that's the first thing they do. But there's no player yet. It hasn't been created. It happens afterwards. Maybe we can create the player before creating the level. I guess that would make sense. The problem is that the player also needs the level. So it's a problem here. Let's check how is the player being created. We got a player factory which receives the level and used it to build the this NPC, which is actually the player. And the NPC factory needs the level because I don't know why. Let's keep digging into it. Mob factory. So far it doesn't seem to need it. Mob factory. Why do you need the level? Just to set it into the mob, because the mob uh, doesn't actually do anything with it in the constructor. So maybe what we can do is here in the start game part of ArthurianX6.js start game, we can create the player first, and actually we're going to set the first level as undefined, and then we will set it afterwards. I don't know if there's a method for it, or else we can just assign it directly. That level is equals, yeah, we can set it directly. Even here, okay, yeah, that should work. We save all and we rebuild. We check here and yeah, it works. Great. So first thing is that NPC is now behaving randomly, moving randomly. That's good. Um, Second thing is, okay, that's like a push. Second thing is that the soldiers are not following us like mad, so that's something else that is good. Now the the third one that we're going to check is after asking this guy to join us. He is going to change his behavior, and now he is following us. That's great. And now let's look for the guards or soldiers or whatever. So here we are. The guards are there. They still haven't seen us. And yeah, okay. Now we are in trouble. That's great. The combat mode starts. Actually, here we got some off-screen soldiers which are now involved into the combat, which I don't know if it's good. But yeah, more things to consider in the future. We are not focusing on the combat today. So good. That's a good first step. Let's commit that change. So what do we have now? We have um, fix on the friendly NPC versus party member AI. These are like small AI fixes, all in all. So let's mark them as such. We are going to remove this comment from this function, and we are going to do this. We are going to commit the part of uh, tweaks on AI, make friendly NPCs or friendly mobs act different than party members, and make unfriendly NPCs have a minimum range before chasing. Okay. All right. So let's see what's next. And as I mentioned, the idea is to work on the some kind of a special objects or special markers on the map that will allow us to launch some things. Uh, let's review the milestone one scope. When the game starts, the interior display that is done. The game starts on a first clearing, initial map shootout, day and night scaling indicator. We just need to work a little bit on this to clip the this these sprites. The party, this is actually changed. We start with an empty party, and then Chamina joins us. They take turns to attack the enemy. Okay. Okay, the enemy soldiers attack the party member using range attacks, so that's missing. This trigger is missing, and this transportation is missing. So it's not here, but I think what I want to add based on this part of the plot is that where's the plot? Okay, hold on a second. I will continue later.